delay there. I was just finishing up that one last VOD. Were you in the stream for that?
Yeah, I watched most of it.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Yeah, so I apologize for the delay.
No big
Let's get
deal.
into it. Melted, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been playing for, what are your goals, and what do you struggle with the most?
I started since beta, so I've been playing since then. And for a while, I wasn't like playing rank, but I took the game a little more serious. I just want to improve. It's like my first TAC FPS game. I was playing a lot of controller or base games, so towards that, like, I just want to, I guess, better positioning stuff, like just like the nitty gritty of the game. Just get better at positioning, I guess, and like understanding of the map, and like I think you were talking about what was it, timings and stuff like that, like just not projecting, just like assuming where people are. Like I
Mhm.
feel like that's a skill. So I just want to learn something about that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and that's one of the thing that I'd say is one of the skills that a lot of high level players still lack a little bit. Can you see this okay?
Yeah, I just popped it up.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, it's one of the things that later on in my career I started really figuring out because
Mhm.
I was asking myself, what holes do I have in my gameplay that I really need to figure out? And I'm like, I don't have wall hacks. You know what I mean? I don't have wall
Mhm,
hacks.
yeah.
So how do I generate wall hacks to know more? And I started thinking about it was a lesson that I learned from Guiding Islands. It's the path to victory is through the eyes of the opponent. And I said, if I were them, what would I be doing? Right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And just by asking that question, I can now work under an assumption, an educated assumption. If I was them, I'd probably be here,
yeah.
right? And even if I'm wrong, with more experience of taking that guess and running the numbers in my head, I'm now able to isolate all the options and the percentages of why they were going to be there or when they're going to be there, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah,
So hopefully that gives you a little bit of clarity on mental projection. And we're going to do
yeah.
that again on this map.
Mhm.
So just for fun, because I don't actually talk about it in your notes, let's do it together here. Let's go
Okay.
into Pearl, and I want you to tell me if you're on attack, okay?
Mhm.
Um, where are they usually standing on this map? What do you normally see? If you did go left or
Uh,
right with numbers.
all right. If we go towards A, usually someone's backside or like back secret. Someone's usually watching like art. Like that's like a normal thing. When Chamber was around, double doors was hurt, but now I don't know. Maybe like put a player by sewers. I'm not really sure. And usually what they double up B, like they'll fight belong together maybe.
So a 2-1-1-1 is what you think?
Maybe like I don't know. Like I said, it's like I haven't played this map that often since the chamber nerf, so I feel like they changed it a lot. Because like people would just put a trip for doors and they'll like double stack a site or something. But like so, this is my guess. Maybe like put your only sentinel like to hard solo A or like or B. But I would probably have your solo sentinel A.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is definitely one setup I see a lot for sure. So we can work on that assumption if that's the one you want to go with it. The other one that I've seen a lot too is sometimes there's one, and then like three here,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So you have like one art and then two on A site. So those are usually the two options that I see, right?
Mhm.
Now, when they're playing on when they're playing on eco, sometimes they'll be aggressive as well, which is something you need to be aware of. Like they'll take space. So
Yeah.
those are usually the things that you'll see the most of.
Okay.
If you're playing in high level radiant, sometimes they'll play really aggressive here and make a coordinated play. Dink does this all the time with Joe DeBozo. If you ever watch them play on Pearl, it's like they just have like all these coordinations, but that stuff you're not going to see in Ascendant rank, which I think is what you're at right now. Look at this! Look at
Yeah.
this pause right here. This guy's like,
That's great.
perfect mood. This is a mood right here, chat. This is a mood. Damn.
So, just a background. I was playing Sentinel a lot. I would lurk, but ever since I started solo queuing, it seems like the team comp isn't that good. So I tried filling nowadays. So I don't play duelist usually because that's always like the top pick. So I
Okay.
usually just end up playing initiator or Sentinel. Like
Mm,
my usually I got to Ascendant just lurking, usually trying to like figure out timings and stuff. So like switching to initiator was a little weird for me, but I just
mhm.
wanted to feel like our team comp wasn't the greatest, so
Have
I
you?
gave it a shot.
Okay, cool. We'll take a look at that in a second. I had a question in chat. Just want to quickly answer. Can you confirm on the good place to learn part? I've joined like 3 times and already can see improvements. Oh, can confirm. Okay, can confirm. Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you guys join the 10 mans, it's honestly you're in an environment where it's kind of a bridge to team play. Team play is when you actually start playing Valorant. It's funny because like there's a lot of people that I coached on teams, and they're all pissed off because they're not getting results. I'm like, well, how many hours have you actually played this game on? And they're like, well, I played thousands of hours. I'm like, no, 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 no. You played thousands of hours in ranked. How many have you played playing the actual game? And they're like, well, I've only had like 2 hours. I'm like, so you're complaining about results when you're actually playing this version of the game. It's a complete shift, right? When you play in a team. So what 10 man is it's a bridge gap between the randomness and craziness of ranked versus the structure of a team play where, you know, flashes are being thrown for people, communication is at its peak, you know, things are actually happening that were supposed to happen. It's a lot more fun playing on this level, but this is the bridge in between that ranked feeling and starting to get you guys into working together and coordinating and communicating. So it's a really good environment for people to jump into. If you haven't already, guys, do join the Discord because we will be doing this after the stream today. So you mentioned something about the comp. You didn't know what to do here. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I usually just fill because like I said, everyone picks like the duelist right away. Usually I end up with no smoke, so I try to like fill like the gaps.
Okay. Um. So you have two duelists here, and this duelist works well with. Actually, I like this combination here. What I don't understand is this one. I really like Killjoy is a tough one. Killjoy is a tough one. I get it now because Killjoy's got a little bit better of a pick, but I still think Chamber is the pick here on this map. But anyways,
Oh, okay.
We'll go from there. And this is my personal opinion. I still think he's a good pick for this map. I don't think the nerf has done enough, and I think people are just not realizing that yet to affect him. The only real thing that I would be concerned about is how far he is from his trip. So you need to be tactical with your trip a little bit more.
Bro, my hands are fucking cold.
Be along with Opt is too good. Plus for me personally, I'm playing with much higher ranks. So that's the other thing too, right? Yeah, that's a good point, Mystics. Like you're playing against Immortals, you're playing against Radiants, you're playing against all these different ranks, right? So it's an important piece. I'm gonna make a comment about this right away. And you probably heard me talk about this before. Okay, I want you to listen. Chat, listen to what he's doing right here.
I paid a heavy price to commune with Nightmare. Don't waste it.
Hi.
What's up, man?
Meow.
Listen.
Bro, my hands are fucking cold.
Okay, Rob.
Here it comes. Here it comes. There. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I think I put my phone down.
You put your phone down. You went like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Chat. How do I feel about phones when you're playing ranked? How do I feel about phones? All right. Let's help the stream out. It's really bad. It's really bad. You know, you might have heard back in high school teachers say, well, phones are the devil. Well, guess what? They are. There's been so many studies proving that your level of focus after you've looked at your phone going into whatever you're trying to like focus in on and be efficient in, you drop your consistency and being able to maintain that focus. I think it's like something like 80 or 90%. Like you can't even like get to a state where you can enter flow state, which is impossible to be, which is where you really want to be when you're playing a game, because now you're able to be at your absolute best, at your peak, right? So something has now you've now looked into something and distracted yourself. So you're already going to be entering this first round not being at your peak performance, right? And it actually takes you 40 minutes to get back to where you need to be.
Right, Rob.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So absolutely no phones. And the other piece that I always talk about too, I didn't get to hear this because I was watching it through Works speakers and I just couldn't pick it up, so I didn't have this on the notes. But the other piece that I want to talk about too is the importance of buy phase. Rounds are won and lost in buy phase. You only have 14 seconds now to make a buy decision and to make a decision as to where you want to go and play. So you're not even like set up for what you're doing. Like, you bought this ghost, but you don't know where you're going. Like, you're kind of motioning towards B. So I'm assuming that you want to play a long range fight, right?
Funny enough, my plan was to go into double doors. So I probably should have bought a frenzy for it, but it was just like you said, I was distracted before the round. So.
Yeah. And this is a big piece, right? Like, this is something that you could easily fix right here, right now. It's not rocket science. It's like you eliminate that from being an issue altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. So I sat in this corner because apparently you could hear footsteps from like B main. So I would sit there and bring it around, and just see if I hear any.
That's cool. I like that. I would
smart,
just be
bro.
very cautious of someone swinging you while you're in the middle and doing this as well, right? One thing that I have as feedback for you when you're doing this, I notice a lot of times throughout this entire VOD, you're throwing utility while you're facing an oh-shit line or facing away from an oh-shit line. So whenever there's some threats around you, you have a habit of throwing it while you're wide in the open. So I want you to find alternative ways, like if it means you going into this corner and then throwing it so that you can at least survive, that's going to be far more beneficial for you, and you're going to avoid a lot of headaches. Okay? So I want you to walk me through your thought process with standing here.
My positioning, I'm not sure, but I assume there was gonna be a lurker. There's no way they just put 5 people through B main. So I was assuming someone's gonna go through doors just to create some other pressure. So I was holding there. But if you're asking why am I like standing there, I don't have a thought process for that.
I agree. There's a good chance there could be a lurker. Why you're standing in this spot does not make sense for me, because the positioning that you've chosen has now forced you, if someone were to swing on this double doors, has now forced you to take a fight. As weird as this sounds on defense, one of the protocols for you is that you don't want to take fights. You actually don't, as weird as it sounds, right? If you have to take a fight, you want that fight to be advantageous and higher percentage for you. The way I like to consider this or think about it is I have a protocol called the Canadian Navy protocol, right? The Canadian Navy will only ever conduct any kind of battle if they have a 3-to-1 advantage on the enemy. Okay, so let's say it's like a Somali pirate or some sort of pirate that they're trying to, arrest. They will only go for them if they've got 3 ships to 1, right? So the idea behind this is that they will only engage when they have advantage. This is the same mindset you want to have. When you stand out in the open like this, you are forcing a fight, one. You have no escape route anywhere, right? And you are going to be peeked out on. So if a person peeks out on you in an online environment, you're in the open, you have no escape route, who do you think has the advantage in that fight?
The guy swinging me, most likely.
What would you say the percentage is of you winning that fight? Like,
Probably
what's your win
lower.
rate?
Probably less than 25%.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is unacceptable. Okay, this is how you know if your positioning is right or wrong. Okay, you need to, if you're going to take a fight, the fight needs to be at least 60% in your advantage, because when you're on defense, you have one big powerful piece that guarantees you winning fights if they take a dry fight on you, and that's positioning, right? You have options. They have to find you. They have to cross their place and clear all these different angles. Like, think of it from their perspective. When they're coming in here, they're worried about this spot. They're worried about now this spot because you just created it. They're worried about this spot here. They're worried about the spot behind you. So they got to cross their place everything. So if you make their job easy by just sitting out in the open, then that fight, all of a sudden, positioning has been eliminated. And now it's a dry fight with them peeking into advantage because they have a peeker's advantage. So now it's like the position's not there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Right. So if you were to rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, even with this position, this one's now even worse, what would you give yourself out of 10 with all the things considered?
I'm probably 3. Like you said, there's no escape route.
Yeah. So you have a 30% chance of winning this fight, is what you're telling me, right?
Probably lower, but yeah.
Yeah. Still bad. Still bad. Still bad. Still bad. Still bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
And I jump on the box. I'm almost positive. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. But here's the thing, right? So the reason why it's bad in further context is that not only do you not have to take a fight and you have no escape route, but it's 5v5 and there's 1 minute left on the clock. So you don't have to do anything, right?
Okay.
And whenever you're looking at these things, you can tell right away if you're making the right decision or not, positioning wise and decision making wise, because every decision that you make on defense should be based around the clock. If the clock is too high, then you don't have to make any kind of aggressive move, right? If the clock is down to 30 and you hear 3 towards A main, well, it's probably going to be an A push, and you could probably start taking space at that point, because statistically, they're probably not going to have someone lurking you at that point. They're going to be trying to execute on the site. They're going to use all the resources possible to get on site. But if you were to do this, say, at 1 minute 20, well, your chances of having someone sitting in this corner and shooting in the side is very high. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So you know you're making the right decision just purely based on the time
Yeah, still are.
alone.
They're here.
Yeah, I think I hold this for a while. I remember.
Yeah, so like they're executing on site and there's 50 seconds left on the clock. This is the point where I'd say you could start taking space. I would say that I would wait for a little bit more confirmation on how many people are there, because it's still early, but you have the advantage and you don't want to give that away, right?
Sure.
So I would say if you're going to make an aggressive push, it would be 1, 2,
I just 3 taps.
now you would do it.
That wall
Still
here.
waiting.
Yeah, I think I thought.
Where are you? Mark
Yeah, now you definitely do it. You can actually win the entire round for your team by going through here. Yeah,
Okay.
by flanking. You can win the entire round.
Even on a 4-on-4, like it's just in
One
case.
lurking
Like we only saw 3. There could be a lurker. You think that's like too much of a risk or still a good risk?
They haven't taken site yet, so you don't have to, but I'm saying you could, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Now you do. Now you do 100%.
No, okay.
Now you do, because they've taken site and things are not going well, so you need to take space. Okay, so you decide not to do that. You decide to go with the passive route, which is fine. 3v3. That's a huge kill. Okay, you got the kill. 20 seconds left on the clock. You don't have to do anything here. You can just wait.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight this. You don't have to fight this.
I forget what you say. It was a cap protocol. Yeah, I got a little hungry after I killed the first guy.
Yeah, you saw red. You saw red and you started chasing. And that's fine, but you need to communicate that you're doing this. You're lucky that your Brim is cognizant of you doing it, because he's about to peek out and kill this Phoenix, no problem. Right? He should be able to kill him.
Nice.
Right? But if you communicate that you're peeking this, right, an action comm, it makes Brimstone's life a whole lot easier to know when to peek. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Cool. All right, so this round we're going to see another example of cat protocol, and it's also going to be just like straight up. I gave you the note, slow down. Okay, so let's see what happens exactly. Apparently, you go from 0 to 1,000 really quick, so I can't remember exactly what happens, but something crazy is
Yeah.
going to happen in this round. Go ahead.
I thought we had a good hold on the game, and like stuff just spiraled out of control. I forget what round, but
I know. Yeah, we do have a momentum shift in this game. I think I mentioned it to you. I'm like, this like. Okay, so you see this fight here? You take. The reason why you win it is because she's on eco.
yeah.
It's just that simple. She should have killed you with any other gun. So this is.
I was like very hesitant about throwing the Q, so I definitely would have died if the person had a better gun.
Yeah. Okay. So you just saw him. You flashed. He's going to be stunned. Okay. It's a 3v1. And then you do this. Okay. You're having a little bit of a problem of chasing frags that you don't need to chase. We had bomb down, right? He has to come to us. You forced a 1v1 here. Now, obviously, the jet came up and helped you afterwards. You didn't calm that you're going to do this. You could have just reloaded your gun, right? And taken a better fight. Like, look at this. 90 bullets. You're like, nah, fuck it. I'm going after him. Right? It's like, okay, just chill. Just chill a little bit. We don't have to do this right away. Okay.
Damn, I'm trying to smoke the bomb off.
So far you've had yeah, the smoke was there, but so far you've had 2 fights where your team has really supported you really well on your peaks without you calming, which is a very rare thing, right? Most of the time what happens is you take this peak, the timing is off, you die, and then the jet peaks, then she dies, and it's a 1v1, right? So to eliminate that, you need to be actively communicating what you're doing. It's like non-negotiable. Something that a lot of players, all my students struggle with. It's the most common issue with everyone. So getting into a habit of pressing your push stop key, calling your swings, 3, 2, 1, swinging this. Or I'm swinging long, peek with me, 3, 2, 1, boom. Right? Anything along those lines helps so much with making better decisions for yourself and for your teammates. Okay. Starbeam 1, how's it going? Good to see ya. How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you. 4 viewers, welcome in. The meteor shower. Welcome in. Good to see you. It's Cassie, right? Am I right? Or am I thinking of someone else? Yes, I remember. See, I remember names. It's weird. I've got like this photographic memory thing. It's weird. All right. So in this round, I didn't have a note, but let's see how you play this out.
What was that Phoenix doing? He's right here.
I don't know. Is he?
Yeah. He might have crossed with that smoke.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have them under full control, right? They have to go A, or they're gonna have to fully wrap, and you're gonna be in a good spot for them. What do you think I want you to do in this situation? Because you remember what happens here.
Maybe double up a raise.
You could.
Take it from mid. I'm not sure. That's the only thing I can think of is double them, or just sit in this corner that's to my left, like where the door is.
You got it. Yeah. So right here on flower door. Yeah. This would have been brilliant, right? Because you still control this entire spot. If they rotate, they're rotating to raise, and they're not gonna be ready for her there. So that's probably at least 1 frag, maybe 2. If they come towards you and you let the first one pass, that's 2 kills. So you literally just win the round here. What you don't want to do, the fact that you have space here is fantastic, like really, really good, very powerful, right? Because now you're limiting their options. It's a 5v4 situation. You don't want to give up the numbers if you don't have to. So you pushing into spawn here is creating an opportunity for them to come back into the round.
I'm pushing with you, Chad. Fucking up.
No, I don't want to push too far. I just want to clear this. Yeah, they're not here.
Yeah. So everything here is clear. So they have to be on this line or right in front of you. Like you're forcing an issue that you don't need to. Okay. They're all in.
Oh my god. So goofy.
Other than that guy, they're all in spawn, right?
Yeah.
So now they don't. They could even like commit to A at this point. Now Retro is not even gonna get anything.
Come back to race.
Maybe she will. Maybe they will. Okay, never mind. She's gonna get some. Oh, that's okay. This is the learning. You always let the first person pass. Okay. When you're down numbers, you have no risk because you are statistically supposed to lose this round when you have that situation. So what you need to do to get back into this round, you have to multi-frag. So this is where you trigger discipline. There's like no way with how much time's left on the clock that these people are thinking about checking this corner as they're coming through here. They're thinking about, I need to run out with knife and get into that spot. Like more often than not, they're thinking like, I gotta go, right? No time. So they're in a state of anxiety and rushing. So because of that, let's see what happens. Yeah, she dies right away. So she only gets 1. That's not good. You could have gotten multi easily. Could have been 2, maybe even 3, just by letting the first person pass that situation. And that's really how you trigger discipline.
I think it was close left, just on the other side.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your other close left.
All right.
Yeah.
This round's about being ready for a
Very
fight.
upbeat. I still don't know my sights on this fucking map.
No, this map's dog shit.
And
Usually people say it,
I make the same note, right, from what I've been talking about the last few rounds when you've been playing in this connector area. You get rewarded a lot for your overcommitment peaks. I call them all-in peaks. Once again, I just want to backtrack a little bit. The things that we're really going to be focusing on here are fight resets, which we touched on in the last VOD as well. So changing your mental to how you should be re-peeking into a fight or taking the second fight after you've won one. We're going to also talk about all-in peaks, which we've already seen already. An all-in peak is where you have no escape routes. You're out in the open. You're in the middle. You must take that fight. What I relate this to is kind of like poker, right? If you move your chips all in, that means you have lost any betting power you have. You can't like make blinds. You can't make bluffs. You can't do anything. You're in. So you're hoping for the best. You're hoping for the card flip to go in your favor. You only want to do that when you absolutely have to, right? When you're like at the end of your chips, for example, in poker, you have to move all in because that's the only move you got, right? So you don't want to be forced into that right off the hop if you don't need to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
This fade. Do you think it's a good spot to play? Like, I don't know. I just didn't know where to put myself on defense. I let my team figure out where they want to go, then I'll just fill the gap.
To go here? It's
Yeah,
fine.
just-
It's
yeah,
fine
yeah,
because you've actually got it set up where you can start throwing eyes across if you really wanted to. But
Yeah.
so if we're gonna play this connector, right? Where do you want to position? Where are your spots you can go? Now have an escape
either
route.
towards sewers or like that little corner towards like where fade is now. Just go up a little bit. Is that a good spot, maybe?
It's a one and done angle.
Okay.
So if you're gonna play a spot like this, having someone supporting you is definitely a good spot to be in, because you can lurk in that corner. If this one runs away, then it's like, okay, then they're gonna come through. They might not check you, and that would work. If you take a fight here and you get the kill, and you back off, then the next person coming in knows you're there. You're stuck. You're
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
traded at that point. So I'd be careful with this angle. Okay. So eliminating that one. What other options do you have?
Towards the sewer connector.
In here?
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Yeah, so you're playing here, and you have your escape route this way to get out of here, if you need to. That's a good one. Anything else?
Toward closer to B, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So you're here, looking there. You have your escape route this way. Beautiful. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Is there anything else that you think you can do?
Like positioning that as fade or
Yeah,
I
from playing double doors.
could go aggressive maybe.
You got it. Yeah, let's say you have an omen or something like that. You can go like this, and you can take space if you wanted to, and play in here.
All right.
All right. What about if you're on eco?
I would definitely go mid and ask for the smokes. Maybe for
Yeah.
the
You can probably just go like this if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You can play back right here with a judge. And then if you're playing a spot like this, what you want to be thinking about is your death is worth 2 points, right? So if you're going to die, you need to be able to get 2. So you kill 2 in this situation. So if you're going to play up here, you need to make sure you kill 2, not just 1. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
When you're on eco. Cool. So you're on the right track. Yeah, and anytime the quality of your opponent is not where it needs to be, and you play these angles, you don't get punished for it, it's holding you back a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like this peak here, this fight. If it's anyone else, you're dead. I promise you. You peek me, 9 times out of 10, I'll kill you here. Even with me being rusty. Coach Sully, love me a Thursday night coaching session. Welcome in, Coach Sully. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Yep. Okay, so we're going to see an example of just not being ready for a fight. I noticed you don't have shooting error on. If you can get that on, that would be fantastic. You saw the effectiveness of that in the last VOD, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
So 5v3 situation, 57 seconds left on the clock. You don't need to do anything. I would say play in that sewer angle that you're talking about right now. Get in there so you have an escape route if you needed to, or you can re-peek for your KJ to get a trade going.
Oh, I remember this.
I'd probably go water here. Like, you should have committed to water and started wrapping towards flowers, because they've already taken that space at that point.
Yeah. Crazy. I already calmed. They already crossed. So like, if I I don't know, if I guess I thought of just playing passive and going through water, we probably would have won the round.
Yeah, because you needed to be the first one there. The first one there would have gone through water, and then KJ would have been here. So now KJ's behind by a few seconds, and they have site control. You would have maybe caught them crossing onto site. That's how different that would have been.
Spike planted. There.
And this is the problem with going in this spot too, because they can come. You can be. It's hard for you to push in because you got 1, 2, right? So if you don't have full control of that, you don't have an eye to be able to figure out what's going on. It's tough.
Pit side. Phoenix low.
For some reason, I thought I could see her head, but she's not Shaq, so.
Okay. Well, if you can see her head, then you can get shot. It's just that simple. If they can see, if you can see their head, that means they can see you. So that's one piece. Now let's watch how you take this fight. Okay.
Spike planted.
You're just not ready for this fight. What happens here is that you're in the middle of switching animations, and you're not ready to like take anything that's coming in.
Yeah.
Right. So what you need to do is you need to slow down for a second if you're gonna throw utility. Right. So you throw this utility, and then you go back behind the wall, grab your gun out, and then you peek into it. It's just that simple. And I talk about this a lot. There's actually a video where I'm practicing this particular thing in a drill that I use. So let me find it for you. This is an important one for you to watch, and I'll link it to you. How to peek like a pro.
Here's how you can have pinpoint accuracy with your crosshair placement. Load into a custom map, find a common angle that you struggle with or a fight that you struggle with, and strafe in and out from that target. You want to find a marker on the wall that you can track with so it's easy to build muscle memory off of. Once you've figured out that exact angle, strafe in and out from that angle, and once you feel confident with it, start adding in a 3 or 2 bullet burst. And the key is we want accuracy, we don't want speed. It's a good practice to start throwing in different kinds of conditions. For example, throwing utility. Every time you throw utility, you want to have the muscle memory of how much time it takes to pull out your gun as you're pulling out into the fight. At some points, you will fall off certain elevations in fights. It's a good practice to start getting into the habit of learning how long it takes for you to recover your recoil. Fall off an object and fire shots when you feel you are ready to be fully accurate. You can check with your shooting error to be able to confirm these facts. Practice these tips and you'll find you'll have a way better experience on Valorant. Here's how you can
Bernie Rao, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Guys, if you're brand new to the chat, feel free to fire away, ask questions. I love hearing questions from you guys. It helps move the conversation forward and sometimes leads the lesson into new, unique ways that we might not have seen otherwise. So appreciate you guys joining in onto the conversation at any point in time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, right? You need to be ready to shoot. It's just that simple.
Player standing.
So this was a bad form repetition that you did, and it will lead into further problems if you don't correct the issue. I just punched my mic. Can you hear me?
How to play this map still.
Yeah, I hear
It's
it.
fucking dog
Okay,
shit.
cool.
Usually people skip it, so I'm just like winging it.
Are you usually a KJ
You know what I
player?
can do? You should play a trade there. I think that's what.
No, I'm not a KJ player at all.
So there's two questions I want to ask you. What is your job in this comp, first of all?
To get info, I'm assuming on defense.
Yep.
And yeah, just to get info. That was my info.
Okay. Who do you enable in this comp?
Probably Raze and Jet.
Yeah, Raze definitely. Jet, you can say not as directly as Raze, because Raze you can start doing C's nades and stuff. Or it's not C's nades, tether nades, stuff like that, right? So you definitely want to be thinking about where you're playing with her. See if you can find coordinations with her.
I've seen Killjoy
Yeah.
put turret here.
It's like, hey, where are you gonna throw your nade? Here, let me throw a tether with you, for example, right?
I mean, she's gonna-
Who do you counter on the enemy team?
Viper. Probably Viper maybe, and maybe one of the duelists. I don't know about Jet just because she can smoke herself.
Your direct counter is Viper. Okay. More specifically with countering, what part of Viper do you counter? Like what sort of things does she do that you can counter specifically?
I guess if she ults and if I have a dog or two, maybe I could use that to clear angles to help push her out of her ult or at least try to kill her. And
Yeah.
maybe when they take sight, I could throw my eye. We could spam through the wall that she throws.
Yeah, you're on the right track. So, more specifically, the way that I like to think about it, if I'm playing Fade and I'm playing against a Viper, and she has her ult, I need to save my ult for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're actually not allowed to use your ult until Viper's used her ult. That's the way you want to think about it. Because she's waiting for you to use it. Like in a higher level, she's waiting for you to use it so that she can use it more freely and more carefully. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Right.
yeah, that does make sense.
So you actually have passive impact on her. She's not thinking like this because she's an Ascendant, right? She's terrible. So it's just that simple.
Yeah.
No offense to you, right? But
That's what-
but they're not
what I'm
thinking.
thinking,
They're
but-
not thinking. Yeah, exactly. You're ahead of the game, right? So she's not thinking like this, right? I'm sure some pros might not even be thinking of this either. But the point is that later on in this game, once things develop, you're gonna realize that a good Viper is gonna be like, okay, shit, she's got her ult up and ready to go. My ult is gonna be completely eliminated if I use this incorrectly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
Okay. What other alts can counter a Viper ult on our team?
KJ.
You got it?
is a
Yep.
good one.
Yep. What else?
I guess Brim could cut off half her ult, and then we don't have to clear so much.
Exactly. Yeah, these are your 3 counters. So the one saving grace you have with your ult that gives you more flexibility is the fact that KJ has ult and Brimstone has ult. So there's going to be situations where I'm like, okay, I'm all right with you throwing the ult here because you have those 2 as well. So yeah, that's something to be thinking about as well.
Play whatever. Abilities in this game are LARP.
It will be a factor in this game.
Fucked up that eye, goddammit.
It's never. They're just
Playing
deep.
Overwatch.
I'm done to push up for that guy. Oh, never mind. There.
No, I thought I had dash already up.
1, 2, 3.
They know we're on
B.
A. We're gonna aggress.
I'm holding door again.
There.
I might lurk through door. I'm gonna leave it up to you, Brim. Dashed away.
I don't think I had a note for this round, so let's see what happens. I think I just said good round. I think you guys end up winning this, thrifting it.
Sick Molly.
Thanks.
KJ
I just made it up.
so fast.
I know.
Dink Sage.
There.
Door.
That's actually huge. Because she can only like heal herself 30.
Could go art.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm gonna be your alarm bot.
It used to be like nothing. It's like, okay, whatever. I dinked the Sage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd actually like sit there and get pissed sometimes. Okay, so this angle, I get it, because you're gonna peek off the thing. That's fine. Whenever it's unlikely, but whenever Jet is on the field, you can't fully rely on any of your utility, because you can smoke it.
Yeah.
Hunting.
Oh,
Hunting.
yeah.
Just remember that.
Spike planted.
Oh, Vapor ult, please.
Man, you are making way too much noise.
That's okay.
Sage is the thing. I guess
Okay, when this happens, you could argue using your ult to maybe force a win condition here. Because if you get both of them, what happens to them?
We win the round.
I mean, by extension, you could, but what happens to them when they get hit with your ult?
Oh, I could run because I cut off their sound, so it gives me more freely to, I guess, get a better angle.
Yeah, and?
I could use my dog, so figure out where they are.
No.
No.
You use your ult, what happens to them? They get deft, they get...
Oh,
what?
Decayed, they're one shot.
Yeah,
Right.
and now your pistol is suddenly looking really freaking good.
Yeah.
Right? So you could actually, you need to remember that because it's a Fade, you have so much carry potential with that ult that people very much sleep on, right? All of a sudden, this eco is looking really dangerous. You could flip this. This is like a TSN turning point round. Like if you win on an eco with Thrifty, it has massive consequences to their economy. So you actually can win like 2 rounds off of a win off this. So I'm not against you investing an ult in a situation.
Winnable. I find.
Yeah, I think I was dead here. Or I thought I was gonna be dead here. I think I tried throwing an eye.
No, and this is no. We don't. We know they're here. No, this overextended. Overextended your need.
Dink plus I dink.
Last
He's
player
spawned.
standing.
What?
You can defuse.
Yeah.
We'll catch them.
Oh, I didn't know.
Got to be kidding me.
Just get a half.
That was beautiful. That's huge.
Why?
Huge round. Huge round.
Yeah, I thought he played A main. So weird. They like baited each other too, which is crazy.
So you don't like the Vandal?
I do, but it's like, I don't know. I like to spray through smokes, and I die too much
I could
doing
do
that with
a
the Vandal.
Who needs a weapon?
Rebby, Mystics, Copper, you're all 100% correct. It decays, it tracks them, it damages them. Yes, you're right. So you could totally
Sure, thanks.
use it.
Hold for retake.
You could totally use it on Eco if you really wanted to. If you see a win condition, don't hesitate. You guys are all 100% correct. Way to go.
Damn.
Is there like a difference in movement error between the Vandal and Phantom, or are they both the same?
Yeah, there's a massive difference. You can get away with a lot more with the Phantom.
I think that's why I use it a little more.
Yeah, nothing beats it.
Man.
My movement's not as great, because like this is like my first keyboard and mouse game,
Mm.
so that's why I lean towards the Phantom.
Severe Misery, how's it going? Welcome in, my friend. That's okay. Yeah, I used to be kind of like that too. I used a lot of Phantom because my movement, I've never been fantastic at it. It's something that I had to work on a lot, and I would have a lot of shooting error problems.
Behind you, killed
Yeah.
Well, you're still.
Oh, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. I get the point. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's say you do it, right?
Yeah.
You get this kill. Immediately, what you should do is go right back into the corner. Go right back into the corner. Because that Phoenix will turn around and fight you. And if there's anyone else, they're going to fight you. You don't need to keep pushing. Just fall back and just live and exist. Hold the numbers for a little bit longer. Okay? And then once you go behind the cover, if you wanted to peek out again and take another fight, then you could do that. This is the point I'm trying to make. When you get a frag, a lot of people, this is not just you, when people get a frag, they decide to move forward rather than moving backward, right? The mentality you want to have when you get a kill on defense is you're kind of like a toll booth operator. You're taxing the enemy for space that they're trying to take. So if you kill them, then they have now purchased that space. It costs them 1 life. So instead of moving forward into the next fight, there's going to be times when you want to do that. But I would say a general rule of thumb, you want to back up again. Okay? And then if you can reset yourself and then take a better fight because you have peeker's advantage on this Phoenix, for example, that would be a much better situation to go into. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
140 jet doors. They drop bomb connector. Nice, it's bomb.
This is huge. Like, this was a big throw by the Sage.
Yeah.
Having bomb. We'll move ahead. Okay, so that point I was going to make about who do you counter is about to come up again in this round.
Okay, we know the drill.
Okay, so once again, who do you counter? It's Viper, right?
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that everyone's got their ult that counters Viper. So let's do a little scoreboard assessment. What do you think they're going to do this round? And once again, who do you counter directly?
Definitely the Viper, and since they're no money, pretty much, they're probably gonna go mid with shorties or like a frenzy maybe, or maybe a sheriff. Yeah, just play like closer angles, play like ratty angles.
Okay.
Make it a little messy.
Yeah, they're typically with an eco, they're gonna try to find a close range fight, right? I think in this game, in this round, they go long on B, which is silly, but it is what it is. I think they end up winning this round if I remember correctly, which is just crazy. So they take the lowest percentage chance fight and they somehow make it pay off. So something on our end fucked up, like big time,
Yeah.
for us to lose this. So anyways, let's break it down. So they're going to be on eco, right?
Mhm.
Okay. They have ults that they can play post plant on. They do have jet knives, right? So if they wanted to, because of the situation, I think they could maybe do a hero buy, right?
Yeah.
Because 2900, this person could probably have a vandal, this person could pop knives, and they could carry the team. So if they're going to go somewhere, they're probably doing it together. They're probably doing it in a close range fight, and they might have 1 vandal. And they're probably playing for post plant, so that means they're going to definitely go for a Viper ult here. So just be aware of that. Ruby the Nerd says, I think those details about movement error and stuff are all shown in the shot when you hover the weapons. No? Question mark. Yeah, you can take a look at it. I haven't looked at it personally, but that might give you an answer as well as to why you like Phantom over Vandal. Okay. Depends on the map for me. Breeze, Vandal, 100%. Other maps, depends on the site I play. Yeah, I think if you're going to be taking a lot more closer range fights, then the Phantom is going to be better for you. If you're taking generally more longer range fights, then you're going to want to have that Vandal.
Yeah, the Jet can
You're not gonna up jet?
The Vandal is, at this point, I think more versatile than the Phantom. Just because of that long range, you have two-hit headshot. This kind of like brings down the value quite a bit, in my opinion. So she pops the knives. We expected that, based on our scoreboard assessment.
Could be, I think.
I'm gonna rotate off. Wait, Raze, can you just
we
jump
don't have to
spot?
commit the
Oh, we don't
rotate.
have to-
Yeah, jump. Race should definitely be jumping spot. There we go. See, because she didn't jump spot early, they now have taken all this space, and this is exactly what they want. That's why we're gonna lose this round, because now they're getting closer range on their fights, which is exactly what they want, right?
Wait, Jay.
I also think our race had a judge playing halls. So I mean, I guess it was a good idea of her to, but
Her job in this position is to jump spot. She needs information.
High 9.
The whole team needs information.
2 pillar. 1 unknown.
Okay, so it looks like we are gonna win this round. Something bad. Oh no.
yeah,
Oh no.
I remember
Oh,
this. I
God.
think this is where I got a little tilted because it was 5-on-3. We knew
Okay.
they had light guns.
So the lesson here, what can you communicate to your team to potentially have them have a little bit more control?
Don't over peak.
I'm gonna answer this question for you in a second. I have a question from Loki. How can I become a part of that private VOD review as you do with your tier 3s? With my tier, how do I become a part of that private VOD review as you do? Oh, you're talking about when I'm working with my teams? Well, first of all, I don't work with that team anymore, so I can't really get you in because I'm not really working with the team anymore. But if I'm working with them, I wouldn't have anyone else in regardless because that's their own team stuff. So I don't want to leak any of their strats, for example. That's kind of like a, what's the word? An NDA, if you will. It's like a non-disclosure agreement. So I can't really have you in unless a team has elected to be on stream. So it is what it is. But yeah. Yeah, Rebby's got it right. So the comm that you're going to make is 5v3, 5v3, no need to push. Right? Just repeat that.
I'm not
Okay.
sure, but I think I did calm that at some point this round.
Let's hear.
Jay.
Find you.
High 9.
Crown. Mark
2 pillar. 1 unknown. Let me group with you, Jet. Confirm.
Maybe not. I thought I did.
This is the only way they get back in. Like this was ridiculous. This is just like completely no. This is the only way they get back into this round is being aggressive. I talked about this
crazy.
millions of times.
Controlled.
You will not kill my
Look at that. All of a sudden now it's a fucking 2v3 situation. Oh my goodness.
spike down B.
It's bomb.
Okay. Another situation where I would be completely okay if you used your ult and you
Yeah.
fought them, right?
Yeah, I might have held it too long because you said it a couple times. See, maybe I should have used my ult.
Yeah, I think what you need to do is sit down with a notepad and come up with 20 ways you can use your ult, right? And that way you'll be able to get a better understanding of when and if you should, okay? The reason why I'm saying this is because, or using it now, is because I know there's one in this corner. There's probably someone over here. If you hit one or two of them, that first of all clarifies where they are, it decays them, it tracks them, you know what's going on, and you can generate a win condition off of it. This ult is very powerful, right? You can generate a one-shot kill to the body right away, or 2 shots, just by like hitting them with this thing and it's peeking with it, right? So you went from a state where this round was like 80% win rate that we should win it based on where they're going and everything. Your team had the courtesy of throwing off that percentage by doing some stupid shit. So now you almost have to pay your dues this round to make up for their stupid play. To carry them out of this round, you might need to ult here. That's the way I'm thinking about it. Okay, so it's their fault that you not have to use this
So blind.
if you were going to do it.
Fully blind again.
I also didn't think
Oh,
Phoenix
what
would have both
happened?
flashes.
We'll make it nine.
I thought he'll at least use one to get to where they were in sight.
Welcome to ranked.
So it's like one of those situations like, all right, he used one flash, that's it. I don't have to turn. But he had both, so.
Yeah, that's just a welcome to ranked moment. As soon as okay, so the first thing too, then if you're gonna get flashed, right?
Yeah.
You think about your escape route. Okay, so you get flashed. Where should you go?
Left, I'm assuming.
No, move to the right. You can move to the right and get behind the pillar. Yeah,
Okay.
that's your best option with where you're standing. The positioning you chose, there's only one way you can go,
I see. Okay.
or you move all the way to the left into the corner. But
Yeah.
you need to figure out where your first escape route is, and I think the right side was probably closer.
Yeah, that's true.
What happened? I mean, we just watched it over. I think we all know.
I feel
Right,
like we
so-
got it like 5-on-3, we had man advantage, better guns. Like, oh, this is a round secure.
Yeah, just calming actively. 5v3, 5v3, 5v3. Don't need to peek. Don't need to peek. Right? They may still do it, but if they do it, at least you have a clear conscience. You did everything you could.
Yeah.
Right? This is the legendary Ascendant, by the way. Legendary Ascendant? You're the legendary Ascendant? Do you have a name?
Never
You
knew
have a
that.
nickname? You're the legendary Ascendant.
I've been hardstuck on this rank for a while, so I guess so.
Legendary. Love it. All right. This round is about comms, and we're also going to be talking about the deathmatch reset routine. So when I'm in deathmatch, what I like to do is try to take one fight, go in behind natural cover, then re-peek and take another fight. Like, I'll mentally do that. Even when I have an opportunity for a spray down, I ignore it. I re-peek. So kill, hide, re-peek. Kill, hide, re-peek. Something you can actually start doing in deathmatch. It'll help you build the muscle memory, right? So in this round, you're missing significant comms. Okay, significant amounts of comms. So listen to this.
Phoenix is going back.
What should you comm in this moment?
That I detained one or got one with my ult.
Did you get one?
I think so. It's a dog was tracking someone.
Okay. Let's try this again. Tell me how many do you get?
Phoenix is going back.
I guess 0. Like, doesn't. Is
Nope.
there an indicator? I can't see it.
Yes, there is. Let's play it back again so you can hear. When you ult, listen again.
Phoenix is going back.
3.
3, yeah. There's 3. Yeah, so you've hit 3 on the site. And you know what else is cool? This guy here, I think, might be outside the site because it's chasing after it. So there's 2 on site and then 1 on A main. That means the other person is probably here, I'm guessing, on A main. So there's probably 2 here, 2 on site. Because you would have hit that.
I didn't know about the noise. I don't play enough it. Well, maybe I do play enough it. I just didn't know about that. So it's good to.
Yeah,
good thing I learned.
and so that's good. So now that you've learned that, you know a new comm for yourself, right? Now the other piece too is that the game, if they have the voice actors on, it will tell them that they've pinged 3 on site because that's a new update.
Yeah.
But I still want you calming it because I don't have that shit turned on, right? I know there's other people that probably have it turned off, right?
Yeah.
So because there's a lot of annoying conversations that they have in between each other. I was like, I just don't want to listen to that shit anymore. So that's why I have mine turned off. So there's pros and cons of having that sound effect on. So you need to take full extreme ownership over those comms from now on.
Okay.
I'll find you.
Now, the other thing, you follow these lines, you'll find exactly where they're going to be, right? So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to dog in off those lines.
Cover my ult.
That's what I'm trying to do.
It's still going off. Going off. She's walled in. She's walled in the wall. 2. Break it.
I'm so blind.
Spike down A.
Bring them down.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so in this situation, what you can have Raze do, the bomb's not even down. You don't have to do anything. You have full bomb control. Fuck it. But I was going to say, what you can have Raze do, if you needed to defuse it, you just have her pop ult, and then you just get on the bomb.
Okay. To zone them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's going to be a moment on offense where this exact situation happens. You can calm for that. Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll see it eventually.
The two A main.
Okay. Here is the reset. Get the kill. Go behind the wall. Then repeat if you really want to take that fight again. Okay? Get the kill. Fall back. Get the kill. Fall back. Okay? Reason being, once again, it's all about the timer. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to take any kind of fights, especially now that it's a 3v2 situation. So what you did was you killed, and then you moved forward. Watch it again.
Oh my goodness.
See, you killed, and you moved forward for another one. Okay? You went into a more aggressive posture. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't blame you fully for this, because TikTok is telling you to do this shit. You probably watch a lot of clips on TikTok where people are just like being super aggressive and hitting all these crazy shots, and they're like, oh wow, that was amazing, right? So your conscious is probably telling you, I need to keep pushing and keep fighting. I'm telling you to take that back, eliminate that, and reset yourself. Because if you reset yourself, you probably win this fight better, right? You probably set yourself up for better success.
It's in the fucking wall. It's been in the wall.
And
Like
he,
a T.
fuck.
Okay. You make a little mistake here. I'm curious as to what your thought process was on this one.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of these situations in this VOD where I'm like, okay, I don't know how to, yeah, overheat, severe, you're right. I don't know how to advise you on some of these rounds, so I wanted to see where your mindset was at so I can give you better clarity. Okay, so you're about to throw an eye. What's your intention with this eye?
Oh, he heard me, man.
Oh, there's a holder left that no one really ever shoots at. I was just gonna clear your A main for the group, but it's probably a bad idea.
Okay. What does this do for you? If you, let's say that you threw it, what does it do for you?
Personally, probably nothing, but at least we get some info of where the players are. Get an
Okay.
idea where they're leaning towards.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's watch the minimap. Let's listen to the comms.
I guess. Doors in place. Stingy.
They're A again.
Yeah, committing to rotate already.
Yeah, I'll just retake B. That's fine. We're saving anyways.
Oh, he heard me, man.
Okay, so we already know they're there. So throwing an eye would only just confirm numbers. So that's really the only value we'd get out of it. The eye doesn't enable us for an aggressive peek, right? It doesn't set anyone up for a frag through a smoke. Nothing. It's just going to be through the wall, right? That's it. Where does it go? Does it go here, or does it go here?
It goes towards where the, I guess, A main where the orb is.
It does go here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it
goes
does. Okay,
towards-
well then that's really good then. Yeah, I made a mistake big time. So hang on, let me see this again. So you're saying that this one will go here, right here?
Yeah, it'll land.
Okay, that's actually really good then. That's really good. I like it a lot. But that being said, it's like I don't think you're in a space where you could feel confident to do it. The reason why is that your jet dies near mid.
Yeah.
So they have full control over here, so it's too risky. And that utility is too close to you that you'll be able to react off of it. So going up into this
Oh, he heard
position
me, man.
is now not an overheat, but an out of position kind of throw. You couldn't afford to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
No, 140, 140 art, 140 art. Are you fucking kidding me, man?
I'm just gonna fall
God,
asleep.
you guys lit 140.
I mean, you died just because of an overreach for your utility, trying to help someone set someone up.
They play
Yeah.
I like the idea behind it. It's just it wasn't the right time to do it. 148. Oof. Yeah, lady. All right, let's move ahead to the next round.
It's alright, it's alright. It's still This. We had a couple mistakes, but it's our game.
It's probably B this round.
Honestly, it could be this could be
Okay, so we're gonna miss a few more comms here.
type half.
Just gonna show you a couple of examples, things that you might not have considered when you're communicating.
Couple blunt. I hear a couple B. 2 fast wall. They sometimes fake it. Just only 2 in wall. Nice.
Listen to this and tell me how many are pushed up on B.
Where are you?
That's a lurker. They're stuck.
Let's listen back again.
Couple B. 2 fast wall.
Yeah, you got gifted a sub from Lineri. Lineri dropped like 60 subs today.
They sometimes fake it. Just only 2 in wall. Nice.
Where are you?
That's a lurker.
Did you hear it?
Are we listening for footsteps?
No, we're listening to the gunshots, actually. So the gunshots, you would have heard a phantom and a vandal going off. So that means 100% there's 2. Yeah, Lineri just comes in and just drops so many fucking subs, guys. It's crazy. He's up to like 42 on this one stream alone. It's insane. And then obviously Red Demon helped out with 5 as well. Flow State helped out with 1. So yeah, definitely it was a crazy day for subs. So I appreciate everyone who's backed up and done that. Thank you so much for the follow. EXO to the stud. Appreciate you. How's it going, my friend? All right. Yeah. So you heard 2. You heard a phantom and a vandal. Okay. So just like little things like that can help a lot. So you confirm for sure there's 2 towards B, right? If you make that comm.
Yeah,
And these comms are important because look at where your jet is,
yeah.
right? Jet's trying to take space and she needs to know what she's potentially dealing with over there. Like, is there one that could be hiding behind here? Or is there one that could be up there? How many people have been committing to B? She needs to know that for her timing so that she can set up a really good flank. He also needs to know if they're coming back towards her. 1. There's your phantom. Vandal.
I got through a wall.
I'm letting them walk in.
Good. So that was, I think that was another vandal. So that means there's 1, 2. That means there's 3 for sure.
1-1. He's coming back to you.
Fuck, I whiffed.
Vandal. So then that means Sage has as a phantom probably.
You can stay, bro.
Yeah, just play retake.
And you definitely can do this, right? Because there's no point in time here where you're under any threat. So you could be taking in all this information, just communicating it. Another reason, once again, Jakester, why looking at stats is not a really good indicator if you're a good player or not, because this is all stuff that will not be tracked, right? Do you have a favorite rank / skill level to coach? There are. It's fun to coach a immortal. I do enjoy coaching immortals because I have to look at the game in a bigger picture, and it's challenging because some of them have egos, and I have to check them. So it's like, yeah, okay, you've gotten to the show, but you got to it under false pretenses, right? I think Platinum is a lot of fun to coach because it's just where a lot of the good content comes from, to be honest. I think I'm going to have a really good one pretty soon, guys. I'm going to be coaching an 8-year-old soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a new unique experience for coaching. New challenge.
Is there a time frame for that? That's exciting.
That one we haven't booked yet. She's already paid for it. Her dad's paid for it for her, and now she just needs to record, so we're good to go. So, yeah, Honk, how's it going? Welcome into the chat, my friend. Good to see you.
Is this 8-year-old a higher rank or still like, I guess lower than?
I have no idea. I imagine she's probably lower than Platinum, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe she's a prodigy. She could be a prodigy. Good to see you, Hunk. Good to see you. Doing really good. Actually, what I want to do is I have another client who is above the age of 35, above the age of 40 actually, and I would love to do her first and then have him afterward. That would be a great stream. Polar opposites. So you guys can see how I would coach a kid versus coaching an adult, a full adult.
That's great.
And the communication and the language I use.
There's 2 more doors.
I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. All right, so this round here. Sorry, I'm getting off track. I think you're rushing utility on this one. There's nothing really big here. I want to move on to offense, I think. But let's see round 12, because there was a question I had for you on that round.
Oh, AJ, you got armor.
Thanks.
Okay, so this is the last round here. So there's a decision-making thing that you do here that I want to look into. And I want you to walk me through your thought process once we get to 25, 21 here. So let's...
Fast A.
Yeah, coming now.
Very fast A.
Okay, let's see what happens.
It's so quick.
Yeah, I'm throwing an eye.
You can't
He's
come
gonna
in.
flash out.
Get out of my way. Grenade out. Where are you?
Alright, I'm gonna hold your.
Okay, so
There you go.
if there's anything that I've noticed, sorry, it's not with you. This is something for chat, because I got to ask a question. Do you have any requirements for VODs where e.g. you don't want us to submit a VOD where we play really well? Okay, so I don't want a VOD where you run over the other team or they run you over, because typically what I've found is when they run you over, you've been compromised emotionally. That's typically what happens. Like, you're not thinking straight anymore. There's something wrong there. So unless you really want to like deal with tilt, then I wouldn't send you a VOD or send a VOD of that, right? If you run the other team over, I don't think they've adequately challenged you enough to shift momentum to give you ideal amounts of value. Can we find value in it? Yeah. Because we're going to probably see you doing stupid shit. Like the last VOD was kind of like that kind of example where they never had a chance at any point in time to shift momentum in their favor. So they were technically running them over, even though the score line looked closer than it was. Right? So I would say if you're going to choose a VOD, choose one that you don't know what you need to do to either win or do better. Right? And that would be probably the best thing that you can look for. Okay. Will that be the oldest student you've ever coached? I don't think so. Maybe. I'm trying to think, what was Monkey Fist? Yeah, I'm going to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure. This will definitely be the youngest student I've ever coached. Okay, so let's see what's happening here.
They smoked me. I think they're going to door.
I think they're rotating. Yeah.
Yeah, just hold door. What did it smoke actually? Kind of troll, but.
That could be interesting flow state. I would like to see it. Okay.
Fuck.
It's coming up here.
While my alarm bot's going off. Sucks. They're up alley then.
It's just running around now.
There.
Wait. Going A.
Okay. So what's your mindset here?
So I feel like if I, for some reason, I wasn't very confident with this fight. I thought I thought I was gonna miss, so I didn't want to shoot. And I thought there'd be one more person sewer, so I was just waiting for at least one more to walk by. But I wasn't confident shooting the Reyna here. I thought I was gonna miss. So I was just gonna see if there was one more. Maybe get one, take some space, like live a little bit, and then hopefully Reyna re-swings me and I'll kill her somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, I wasn't confident to shoot this because I thought I was gonna whiff.
Okay. That gives me a little bit more clarity on this, because I was going to say this is like definitely like take this one out for sure, because 4v4 situation, they're now giving you a chance to like even up the numbers. I don't mind you taking that fight. But it is what it is. Okay. So, first of all, EXO, I can't pronounce your name. Asina. Hopefully I said that right. How old is he? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how old he is. But the one I was talking about from before, the youngest one I'm gonna have is 8 years old, and I haven't worked with her yet. It's probably gonna be after Christmas, after New Year's. It's probably gonna be so probably in 2 weeks. So 8 years old will be the youngest I've ever worked with. Soon.
Yeah, they're coming again.
Planning.
No. Fuck.
Yeah. Okay. So why the eye? What were you thinking here?
Honestly, I didn't see the brim smoke, so I was just seeing if
Yeah,
they're
coming
still
again.
too close towards the stairs, so I could like figure out how to fight it. But
No. Fuck.
I don't know.
Okay.
That was just the only thought process I had at the moment.
In this moment, for you to win this round, someone has to multi-frag. Okay? Someone has to multi-frag. You have an opportunity here,
Yeah.
small opportunity, where you could have been that person, right? This moment right here, if you were fast enough, you could have killed both. Okay? And that would have made it a 4v3. Now the win condition's on our side. So, with that being said, when you let these guys pass, and it's a 4v5 situation, you need to make a play in order to get back into the situation. The only thing you can do to make a play if you're going to commit off this and not just sit here is if you just keep moving forward into them. That's the only way you can do it. If you throw an eye, you're too close to danger that, let's say you even threw it, like you threw it, right? Because of how close they are, they're going to see the direction that thing came from, and they're still going to pre-fire you. So you're not in a spot where you can freely throw utility. In fact, if we were to make an even bigger protocol on this, if you remember what I talked about in the beginning, how you constantly seem to be pulling out utility when you're out in the open,
Yeah.
you're doing it again here. You're not in a spot where you can run away or be in protection to throw it, right? And we're going to see this a lot on offense as well, right?
No.
And do you think if
I'm waiting for you guys.
I don't think they knew I was there. I started running because I panicked because I was like that was my chance to make it even. Maybe
Yeah.
if I just kept walking, I still had that factor of making that multi-frag or.
You would have had a better chance for sure.
Exactly. Once they pass and I think someone else dies, I start sprinting, I believe.
You
Or
needed
maybe I
to
just
walk.
start sprinting at some point.
You needed to walk now, and you needed to gamble that no one else was to your left. That's what had to happen. And this is what I was sort of like, thank you so much, Meek Monster. Appreciate you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. This is the point I was trying to make, in that one person has to multi-frag, right? So your opportunity to multi-frag, you just missed one. If you want to create another one, you have to just go for it and then hope there's nothing there, right? You can quickly flick and take a look and see and then make a better decision, but you have to go right now, and you have to just keep going and walk the whole way through.
Yeah.
As soon as you run there, you also give away your information there.
Waiting for you guys.
Art, but over here.
And that being said, that was a very difficult round to win from the position you're in. Like, difficult multi-frag if you don't take the first one, right?
Yeah.
I do watch the VODs before. I do watch the VODs before. But all my notes, I'll show it to you. All these notes that I make right here, they're in the moment. I'm telling you my exact thought process. So I'm writing down all these notes as they're coming in. So any prediction that you've heard is a legitimate prediction. Like the ones I did for that last VOD, that's all like as it's happening. Like he's gonna be here, he's gonna be here. Silva peaks 2 3 2 1, right? Same idea. Okay, so it's not like I would never like do 20/20 hindsight bullshit. I'm gonna be like completely straight up with you. This is how I would do it in this situation, right? So, and that was just answering a question in chat. Again, sorry. I send the notes after the session. Yeah, Dark Angel, I didn't send you your notes. Didn't I work with you, Dark Angel? I worked with you, right?
I do bad. I'm so bad at attacking.
I thought I sent you the notes. If it didn't, I'll just send it to you. No problem. Just send me a message on Discord.
Let's go mid. No one ever does mid. Like first
I'm pretty sure I worked with you, right? I did work with you. I didn't?
midday.
Is there another Dark Angel that I worked with?
Cool, man. I can just move on.
Yeah, I'll go main. Why don't we
Am I losing my mind? Man, I'm really tired today. I think I'm just really messed up.
Give me spec if you don't mind.
All right, so this round is going to be about post-plant positioning, okay? Now, the key to winning a post-plant, I've talked about this before, but I'm going to do it again, just for everyone else. The key to winning a post-plant is by controlling the entryways into a bomb site. So let's say it's like A, for example. An entryway would be A main. You have the art entrance, you have the flower entrance, and you have, what do you want to call this one?
Is that secret? I forget what the
Secret, I guess? Yeah, sure, we'll call it secret. Okay, I like that. So you have secret, you have flowers, you have art, and you have A main entrance. The key to winning a post plant, like to secure one, is to control 2. If you control 2, it's pretty difficult for them to win, right? You're going to have so much significant positioning on them. And if you can control 2 that are opposite of each other, now you're really good, right? Now you're controlling what I would call a funneling, because they're going to have to go through the middle. So if they had this one and this one, but we had the secret and we had A main, like, and you have bomb like right here, for example. So like bomb comes down here.
Yeah.
You're in like a really good spot, right? So that's obviously more advanced than you're going to need in a ranked environment, because ranked is very random. But if I'm teaching a team, a 5v5 team, like a tier 2 team, I'm thinking about, okay, where do we need to map control for an ideal post plant? And then we run through these scenarios over and over and over again. And then we practice it. Like, this is the pathing we're going to take to make sure we maintain these 2 spots, right? And then everyone on that team knows exactly what they're doing. This is why I'm saying that what you're doing here in a ranked game, once you start playing on a team, you're gonna be like, why the fuck am I ever playing ranked? Because this shit is like terrible compared to what an actual team play is. So there's a lot more involved in team play. Man, what Saint made Valor play? I know, it's such a good tool, amazing tool. There's actually I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but there is a tool that might partner with us in the future. I need to go through it myself and see if it's something that I want to do. But there's a tool that might come out in the future that will have a one-to-one translation to Valorant. And what I mean by that is that if you have a VOD and you take a particular fight, you can render that fight within this application, and you'll be able to practice that fight over and over again if it doesn't work for you. So that's in the future, and it might be partnered with us, which is pretty cool. Do you understand what I'm talking about there?
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Is it like a third-party app where?
Yeah.
Like, you know how Aim Labs is? They have all these like, not tutorials. Like, I guess how EA has that certain situation in a game and they'll recreate it. Is that the same thing?
Kind of, yeah. But it would be able to take off of what you're doing.
Wow, that's actually very cool.
Yeah. So it's something that we're looking into, and I'm like, that would be like next level shit for GCA. Like, I'm definitely down for that. But yeah,
so probably the first, most likely, I assume.
Yeah, there's a lot of things down the line. El Jose, how's it going? Good to see you, my friend. Long time no see. How you been?
Close alley, left.
I want you to think when you're throwing your eye, when the most ideal time to throw that eye is, right? If you throw that eye, what kind of value do you get off of it?
Yeah.
No, what I'm asking.
Yeah. So in that situation, I see them get a kill in front of Art. I was just helping them clear that, that box that people were at in that corner, or that, I guess, behind that box, because it clears that spot for them.
Play aggressive.
In Art?
Yeah, like where the box is. It like lands in that hole that I was aiming for, but I died with a stinger, so it's like the same spot. So
Okay.
yeah, it clears that back box, I guess, or it's that box spot that people play at.
I like
I'm
it.
just helping them clear a little bit more, so they don't have to do as much.
Okay,
I like a little faster with us, I guess.
Okay, I like it, but what's the likelihood of a second person being in there?
Probably 0, because I want to say 0, maybe like 5%.
Yeah, very low. very low of second person being right behind that box, right after that, because if there's a second person there, they're probably supporting that jet at this level. They're probably going to be peeking with them. They're not going to be baiting them in this corner, right? I mean, if they are, then that's a different form of psychopath that I've never, experienced, right? Like, I would be absolutely pissed if I was the jet, right? It's like, you better fucking multi-frag, or I swear to God, I'm just going to fucking leave this game, right? Like that kind of level. So what you need to think about is there's a timing for this. And I'm not sure if the eye can see all the way down, like into here, but you would want to throw this ahead of time.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah.
Or as they're walking in and there's no fight, right? Yeah. So with that going on, it's useless because they probably have they have that art control, right? So I like the mindset that you have. I think it's just the timing is a little bit off. Now, let's say that you were to hold this. What do you think would be the most ideal time to throw this eye in? To A, for example.
I probably wouldn't throw it at art. I would switch it up, maybe throw it on site when we're ready to scale. I guess, do we wait for art control or just whenever A main's ready to go?
So as soon as A main takes a fight, I would say you throw the eye in then, because now you're adding a distraction. Now the other option you have is you throw it just before Raze is about to take her first fight, like getting insight, because now you're pulling crosshair placement away. So there's many functions of it. Do you want to pull crosshair function and attention, or crosshair placement and attention away from A main, or do you want to reveal people, right? With a Raze, I feel like you want to be after she takes a fight.
Okay.
Or after she gets in, because she serves as a distraction. The eye then reveals people. She comes out of the smoke that she just jumped into, and then she takes that fight. Or she's in the smoke and she can see everyone. Because in an ideal world, Brimstone places smokes for her. She jumps into them. You follow in with the eye. They're distracted by her. The eye reveals everyone. She shoots everyone through the smoke. That would be like an ideal world, right? Yeah. that's like when you have everything timed out in a 5v5 team. Once again, you'll never have that situation happen, right? Yeah. So you need to decide for yourself, am I using it as a distraction, or am I using it as a way of scanning people, right? No different than when I throw a KO flash. Is my intention to actually blind someone, or is it to make them turn away, right?
Yeah, I see.
Right, so what world do you think is most viable to solo queue and out of a low rank with? I play Initiator and I'm still out of silver. I actually made this post on TikTok.
Was it the Phoenix one?
Yeah. I'm going to show it on stream for anyone who hasn't seen it. For anyone who's struggling, I made so many people tilt on this video. Getting out of low ranks, play Phoenix. so many people tilted because I put the diamond symbol. I said, if you want to get out of low ranks. How many people? Look at this. Hang on, let's see it. How many people were fucking triggered? I love it. Diamond isn't even low, you low. It's high, you low. I should make this a TikTok. So how many people I pissed off? How many people I pissed off on TikTok? Getting out of low ranks, play Phoenix. Because you can do everything. I agree, it is low. All the roles. You can literally carry. If you need a smoke, you have the wall. If you need a flash, you've got your flash. You need to heal yourself, you got your own heal. If you want to be a Sova Dart, you have your ult, which is the next point I'm going to make. There's one major character on your team that should be in charge of sussing out a stack on the site, right? Anything that could be potentially happening. Yeah, exactly, Sky. But there is one other character that can help you with that job as well. Do you know which one it is?
Probably my ult.
You got it. You want to treat your ult like a Sova Dart, especially in these rounds, right? So you have the ability to be a second dog, if you will, and you can go in and clear out a bunch of negative angles that could be worked against you. For anyone who's what I mean by negative angles is that, let's say for example, it's a fight. We've talked about this in this exact VOD. It's a fight where it's super advantageous for them and disadvantageous for us. That's a negative percentage angle that we're going to be taking a fight on, like a negative percentage chance of winning, right? And what I mean by negative is like under 50% chance of winning that fight. Like a positive angle is going to be above 50% chance that we're going to win that fight. Okay, so just so I'm clear on that. So what I'm saying with this is that if you are Phoenix and you're playing as to carry your team, you run it back and then you're able to clear out all the angles that are going to be really hard for us to win on. Okay, That's just for everyone who's in for Bernie Bow. So I think honestly, Phoenix is definitely an underrated pick for low ranks to be able to like get out of stuff, because you can literally have this wall as being a controller. So if you have a shit controller who doesn't know how to place smokes down for you and support you, you can support yourself. If you need a flash, you've got your flash. Sorry, if you need a flash, you've got your flash. If you need to heal yourself, you can heal yourself. So you don't need a sage. You don't need to rely on someone else, right? And then if you have a shit Sova, well, guess what? You have in 5 or 6, I can't remember what it is. 6, we'll say it's 6. I think it's 6. Orbs, you literally have your Sova Dart, or you have your Sky Dog, whatever one. So you can fill every single role. Your heal is technically like a sentinel in a degree, because Sage is a sentinel, right? If I remember correctly, I think she's. It's a really weird sentinel. Really weird. Yeah, it almost needs a class of her own, I think. Yeah. But anyway.
Dog right side.
Close right clear.
Peeking. Nice. I'm not playing. I'm playing for everything.
Yeah, exactly, Bernie. You can literally like get it fast. Okay, so post-plant positioning situation. More often than not, I will always say stretch from the bomb. This is going to be the one situation where I'm like, you needed to stay on the bomb site. The reason why is that your Raze has control of this entryway in. Your Jet has control of this entryway in, and 2 of your players have control of this entryway in. So you going into the site is now forcing you to play a retake onto the bomb that you've planted, right? Okay. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is be here and watch the last remaining spot they can possibly be. There's no way they can come from secret. No way they can come from art. No way they can come from behind you. They can only come from flowers. So that is a really good, advantageous fight for you that you can play on site with. So this was the one mistake that caused the entire round to fall apart. How crazy is that?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. And this is a situation that rarely happens, so I don't mind the fact that you made the mistake. It's actually good that you made this mistake, because now you won't make it again. When you're planning the bomb, I talk about this all the time. When you're planning the bomb, you should be looking at the mini-map and saying, where do I need to stand? And you'll be able to answer yourself right here. More often than not, when I ask the question, where's your eyes in this situation? People say, I'm looking at my crosshair. But I don't understand why you're looking at your crosshair at all, because you can't shoot anybody while you're planning. What is it serve? Yeah. What is it serving you? Look towards the mini map and figure out where you need to stand once this bomb goes down, and you'll be able to win a lot more post plans. Sound good?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a TikTok.
I was just wondering, because we lost this round and we were up 5-3, so.
Yeah, and this is what it's actually very similar to when I watch people on Haven set up to play a retake on A, right? It's like you're this is going to be against a lot of coaches. A lot of coaches disagree with me on this one, but let's think about the logic of this. Okay, let's break it down. So let's say you're playing solo on A, and you're playing to retake. Okay, and you got all your teammates, and they're all doing their own thing. Let's just put people on the map just so you can see, right? Yep. And they're doing their thing, right? And you say, oh my god, they're coming through A, and they're gonna take site, they're coming in, blah blah blah, right? Not looking good. Okay, so you back off here, and then traditionally what happens in most ranked games that I see, not high level games, because in high level games they'll take space and they'll push through mid, right? Which is what you should do on a retake. But what they'll do is what?
They'll group up like that A-link connector, 2 go heaven, then we just funnel and die.
Yeah, you all funnel into the fucking Valley of the Shadow of Death right here. Like, when you go through here, it's like automatic, like, I'm done for. You know what I mean? It's not looking too hot. So people will decide, instead of taking the fight and trying to get 1 or 2 kills, to maybe making it a little bit easier for you to retake, to have all 5 of us or 4 of us funnel through the Valley of the Shadow of Death into a spot where, like, you can be killed from a million different angles. And it's just like, you're just fucked, right? Yeah. Like, if we were to run stats on that, how often do you think the team who's defending wins this round on a retake?
Honestly, 0. Like, I hate retaking A. I'd rather just die on site and get 1 or 2, because I just feel like it just doesn't go well.
Yeah, you don't want to give up your foothold if you don't have to, right? You don't want to just like give them space for no reason and just and
Yeah.
go on the retake unless you guys are planning on flipping the map. But at that point, it's already kind of too late, right?
Yeah.
So if you come from back here, the real retake, the higher percentage retake, comes from the flank, right? And controlling this one spot here, just saying you can't come back here and make them worry about here. And then by the time you can see how this works right now, look at their play space while you're retaking.
Oh, yeah.
They're all stuck here. Now they're surrounded. And the entire time they don't know they don't have information. They don't know how many people are here, but they know there's a bunch there. And they don't know how many people are here, so they can't push through to take that space. So they're condensed into this small little play space. And that's how you end up winning on retake on A, right? So it's an important piece for a lot of players to understand, is that this is not a legitimate way of retaking, right? It's not a good percentage way. You can just see it. It looks like shit. And if it looks like shit and smells like shit, well, guess what? It's probably shit. Okay? That's probably going to be another TikTok.
There.
26
I don't know why I worried
Phoenix.
about someone
What
going
a
through
shot.
mid.
86 Viper.
I feel like we saw him on the minimap
I
at
have
some
it.
point, all three. But
Yeah, you went into autopilot mode and stared at your you didn't see your mini map. You stared at your crosshair, and you didn't see what was going on, and that's what happened there. Meek Monster. I used to play Chamber and would always opt, but the nerfs basically killed him. I don't agree with that, Meek. I think you could still play Chamber pretty well. I think you just need to be more tactful with where you place that TP. You need to treat Chamber kind of like a Jet, right? Jet can op. Jet just dashes away. It's like a dash. Just treat it like a dash, right? He's just not as powerful as he was before. I agree. He's not as powerful. But my brain is way too analytical and constantly thinking about every aspect of the game. You need to play controller. You need to play controller, Meek. Yeah, I can see right away. Like, if you're thinking this much and you're not thinking about frag, like you're not like that, one person brain is like thinking like, I need to get stats. You probably don't want to be playing a role like that. I think you want to be thinking about like an overview kind of character, like an Omen, for example. I'm thinking like Omen, thinking like Astra. I'm thinking like maybe Viper, right? But anyways, so every aspect of the game, Jet just won't fit my playstyle. I think too much kind of yeah. So you're already saying it. You said it yourself. Jet doesn't fit your playstyle. Well, guess what? Chambers is basically another Jet. I think too much kind of like an IGL role. Yeah, you're literally you're a controller, man. You're a controller. I don't know what your thoughts were. I'll just stick to control. Yeah, you got it. You got it. We're on the same wavelength. We're literally on the same wavelength.
Gonna wall
Yeah, I
down.
think all three.
I'll find you.
I think
Yeah,
that
wall down.
So yeah, see how you have to retake now?
yeah.
It's like you just gave up the space, and now you have to like you basically told them, okay, we're in a 5v3. I feel bad for you. I want to give you a chance to win this round, so I'm gonna take the disadvantageous route, so that you guys can, because I'm a polite guy, right? It's a time for giving. I'm gonna be like a Santa Claus to you guys, okay? I'm gonna give you a gift here.
Do you have Molly or anything?
Omen,
Probably shouldn't have pushed this far.
Off.
Usually 60.
KO
Remaining.
and Omen, Asina, 100%. KO and Omen. Entry fraggers I'm really good with too, because I've had a lot of experience playing at a decently high level in Counter-Strike and other games where I was entry fragger. So I understand what the role entails and what you need to do. Smokes and controller, I've been in IGL for a long time as well. Opping, I'm really good with understanding how to use an operator. And I'm not talking about like flick kills like Wardell. I'm talking about like textbook chessboard style opping, where you're making calculated plays. Those are probably my best roles.
One more. Dink. This way.
Yeah, leader.
Destroyed.
I love this pathing. I love everything that you guys are doing here. This is really good. You can get really ratty and go in through water if you wanted to. Sorry, what are you gonna say?
Then our KJ takes bomb all the way down there, and we probably lost round regardless, but we could at least got extra money for putting the bomb down. But she just takes it all the way down sewers.
Severe, if you have a Valo plant of Counter-Strike, I can give you examples of like Dust 2, for example. If you have a website for that, that would be great. Like a Counter-Strike Valorant of some kind. I can walk you through it. Do you play Counter-Strike?
Are you asking me or chat? I'm sorry.
You.
Oh, I do not. I mean, I used to watch it, but I never played it.
Okay, let me pull up Dust 2 real quick.
Oh, yeah, it's I know the map, but I never played.
Okay, this will work. Oh, what the fuck? Can I just view image? Copy image link, and let's see. Perfect. Okay, so on Dust 2, you're gonna make me into a Counter-Strike coach right now. Oh my god. I really didn't want to. I didn't really want to get back into coaching Counter-Strike, but there's a lot that you can do on Dust 2. Dust 2 is such a good versatile map. There's so many different ways you can play it. When you're playing on defense, typically you have to decide to control for A site, for example. You have to decide to control long, or you have to decide to control short. Typically on ecos, same idea. We've talked about this in Valorant all the time. You want shorter range fights, so you're going to be holding cat. Now, with holding cat, the problem is that there's so many pop flashes that you need to be very careful of it. So one person has to play anti-flash, one person has to scout, basically. Okay, so you would be playing up close if you're on an eco. So that would be controlling space on defense. On a normal situation with taking long, you need to time your spawn. So whoever has the closest spawn has to be the one that crosses, because there's only a certain amount of time that can be there. On the opposite side, if you're on offense, if you got the closest spawn, which I think it's like around here, you're the one that needs to lead in here. If you get to this point, you can catch the first person coming here. So in order for them to get across here, one person needs to support with a flash that pops right over here to stop this guy from peeking. Okay. There's a lot to this game. I miss this game now for the tactics purely. But there's timings for everything, and it's all based on your time where you spawn. So for example, if you've got this spawn, which is the spawn for B, you can get to here as they're crossing on site, if I remember correctly. So you can catch them. If you had like an op you knifed out and you peeked out, you could probably catch one. But yeah, it's been a while since I've played, so I can't remember every single timing. But it's one of those things that you would practice. In terms of controlling space on CSGO as well, if you position yourself here, you can hear all of long. So you can hear what the information is there. If you had one person here, you can hear all of mid, right? If you go into this spot, you can hear pretty much all of B as well. So what we used to do is we'd get people into these power positions. We control map control so that you're able to hear things. In Valorant, you can do this too. We actually saw an example in this VOD where he was hiding himself in a corner and hearing all of long B, right? Same idea. So you need to be in these positions or learn where these positions are. And what you do is you go into a custom map with your friends and you learn what's possible. And then from there, you know the timings, you know where you can learn, hear things. And then from there, like, okay, well, I hear 3 towards B, let's go A, right? Or I hear 2 towards B, that means it's probably going to be a 2-1-2, right? And, okay, long player, do you hear them over there? No, okay, let's path through long. They're going to be playing cat. Easy take. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in a slow play strat, I actually think I've got one written up. I can try to find it. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. Let me go on YouTube here. If I go into my studio, this is a long video, but this might actually give you some ideas. Dust 2. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Dust 2. Really, it's not popping up. I must have it somewhere. Strat. God. And these are all my strat sessions when I have my team. Oh fuck, there's so much good content here. CS. Okay, maybe it's set to my private content. Let me see if I can find it, guys. This might take a second here. Let's go back to this is gonna be terrible quality too. Just bear with me, guys. You're gonna learn multiple games today. Where are you? Damn, I got so much stuff I gotta comb through. I can literally make TikToks for like 4 years.
You make them yourself, or do you have someone make it for you?
I make them myself. I have my YouTube stuff. I have an editor for that.
Okay.
Because it's just too much work with everything that I'm doing. If I'm gonna make one on TikTok every day, I need someone to help me with the other one with YouTube. I can totally do it if I wanted to, but it's just a little too much.
Makes sense.
I think it's coming up here. Where is it? Where are you, son of a bitch? I know you're close. Dust 2. There we go. Dust 2. DE. Okay, that's why it was. DE Dust 2 default. Here we go. Okay. So this is a 3-minute video. Good. So this is what I used to do when I was IGLing to explain strategies of where we're going to go for a default. So same kind of idea here. This is player 1's position. From here you can listen to long. You have another option as well as playing right here. And from here you can listen to cat. And you can also hear long if they're going to rush it. Usually if they're going to rush long, you're going to communicate to your upper, who's player 2, to watch the doors for you. Because playing from this angle trying to kill someone or repositioning yourself is going to be really hard. So you got to help it with your upper. And that's your position. Player 2 is the upper. Quite simply what you're doing. Holding an angle, and from here you can see the lower, all that stuff, you know, all that good shit. You can call the cross, see how many are coming across, whatever, they're jumping across, take a few shots at them, all that good stuff. If there's a smoke being thrown on their side, you can assume that they're using a rifler and not an opper, and from there you can move up to this position and lock down cat. And this is called the green box position. The second important role for you as an op, as you're going to see later on the default. I don't know. This is an old video, Flow State.
What they're going to end up doing is throwing a smoke on Xbox. And you're going to have a smoke down middle like that. Once you see that smoke getting thrown, you're going to be moving to green box automatically and holding this angle.
So what I'm doing here is establishing protocols based on experience, right? So when you've been punished by things over and over again, you're like, if this happens, we do this. If this happens, we do this, right? So what happens is you have a theory when you're making a strat with a team, and you execute that hypothesis, and you see how it happens, and then afterwards, you guys get into a server afterwards and be like, okay, we thought this was what's going to happen. This is what's happening now. This is how we change it. And then you retool it, and then you go back into another game, right? So
the next 3 players are going to have bomb in hand, and they're going to be controlling B tons. The basic idea here is to gain map control. When we have map control, we have visuals on catwalk, we have visuals on B tons, which is this area, and we have a setup direct route to attack mid. So at the end of default, what it's going to end up looking like is one person's going to be posted up on the doors here. One person will be posted up on catwalk, boosted up on these boxes. One person will be sitting here on stairs, controlling the B tons. One person, the opper, is going to end up being at green box, holding the angle on cat, and he can shift back and forth, looking to try to find a pick on mid. And one person is going to be posted up on long, listening for the long, or posted up here, listening for cat. Once we've established map control, based on the information we've gained from the entire round, from long, from the middle, the crosses, and from B tons, listening to where people are coming from, we'll be able to determine which spot on the map we're going to attack. If there's a smoke early on in the round here, we're going to assume that there's a rifler holding mid, which means their opper's probably going to be holding long or B tons. From there, we can determine if there is a smoke or not to attack middle and get a free pick on their opper or their rifler. If we hear that there's people long, we're going to try to execute towards cat. If we hear this people cat, we're going to try to execute to long and try to get our opper into pit. From there, we'll be splitting on cat and long. If we see that there isn't anyone crossing too early in the round, or having trouble getting across middle, directly off the 3-person Russian to B tons, we're going to be throwing flashes off here and taking B right away.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Yeah, so, and this is coming from, like, being punished by a million different things and just be like, hey, this is our direct counters for every single situation that pops up. And on the fly, I would be calming all these things, right?
Yeah, I see.
I'm gonna dog here. They're nowhere here. They're nowhere here. Let's go.
That's behind.
It's fine. Let's just try to get bombed.
No one's sight. No one's sight.
Let's try to get bombed down.
Oh shit, that's Spike. No.
This is just a big throw. Your KJ threw so much in this game. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there was so many moments where I'm like, oh my goodness, what are you doing?
She made the game a little harder, for sure,
Good fit.
but I didn't want to say anything to her.
Yeah, well, it's exciting because now you're playing 4v5. You're learning how to win 4v5.
22 hours, another classic.
I wouldn't, like, Severe, if you want to do a CSGO VOD at some point, I'm down to look at it for you. It's been a while since I played, but I can probably coach you in it. And I'd be willing to do that one free, since I haven't done it in a long time, so I'm not sure about the quality of what my coaching would be at. So we can do that at some point.
Yeah, I think at this point, her taking bomb to sewers kind of tilted me, so I was like, I'll just hold bomb the entire time. But they wouldn't give it to me, so. But the burn wasn't terrible with the holding bomb, so I just let
I'll
it.
throw someone here so we can cross.
Yeah. So what you need to do, you did the right thing. You said, what can I control in the situation? And what I could control is making sure that I had the bomb, right? So that's good.
And I feel like here I didn't have to slow walk because like we already smoked, so they're assuming we're already here.
Absval, what are some things that an IGL for a competitive team needs to prep / keep in mind for tournaments? By the time you're in a tournament, you should already have your strats in mind. So it's not really strats. It's more so making sure that you keep everyone's temperament in control, I think. If you're talking about like high level competition, you've played and you've analyzed these guys that you're playing against several times. You know what they're going to do, and you've already established anti-stratting for all of them. So there's going to be certain comps in Valorant that you're going to play on certain maps based on what you've seen them do, so that you can counter them. I think in the future they're going to have a agent ban, which is going to change the field of play so much. If someone is like hindered, like so for example, Optic ran a really good breach and neon comp on their Haven, right? And they would just decimate teams on it. So imagine if they can say, well, you can't play breach, right? That's where the strategy will come in for that. So keeping those things in mind and knowing where their crutch is for their strategy is going to be a big piece. Yeah, and that's where, and Severe, you're right, and that's where the coach comes in, and that's where the analyst comes in for a lot of these pro teams. Because as a coach for a pro team, what I'm doing is making sure that the mental of every single player is at its peak so they can perform. But I'm also running stats, and I'm also looking at, you know, what their setups are in. So if I'm watching a team play, I'm taking the notes. I'm going, okay, 2-1-1-1-1. That was the last strat. 3-3-3-3 or whatever it is, right? I'm going across the map and doing. I see this setup 3 or 4 times now. This is my recommendation based on that, and then I give them something, you know, good to like keep their momentum up. That's how I would be coaching a pro team, because I don't need to sit there and go like, well, your crosshair placement was off. Like, no, I don't need to do that shit, right? So it's a different kind of environment when you're coaching pros. Because everything's already been talked about. You guys have been like putting in hours and hours in custom maps to prepare for all those what if scenarios that you saw with the Dust 2 stuff. Yeah, have a massive database of strats and anti-strats. Imagine having banned. Yeah, you have all the strats based around Viper, and then you get banned. Just like, fuck. What do we do now? I guess we're playing Harbor. But yeah, okay. So this throw that you do here, you do this a lot, right? We've caught you several times.
I missed right here.
Yeah, you do. It's okay though. My problem is that there's been multiple times throughout this VOD where you've been caught with utility out in the open, you're throwing this out in the open. Where's your escape route?
For there, just that really small corner.
Yeah, you have to move forward.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
By the time you get up there, by moving forward, someone good would shoot you in the head. Okay. In this situation, it's not going to happen because your whole team is covering you, right? But there's going to be rounds in the future you're going to watch where you literally run up here with your utility out. And it's like you're facing the oh shit line, and it's not going to be good. And you've been punished for it before as well. So we just want to make sure that you're cleaning that up
yeah.
much as
Seems like
possible.
a common theme is my utilities out there on time.
Yeah. And it's not even like an oh shit line thing. It is an oh shit line thing, but it's more so you're not throwing from in behind cover, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Severe. When you're coaching a team, you need to think about, like, in the moment in the actual tournament, you have 1 minute to make a positive impact on your players, whatever they need in that exact moment. Sometimes it's about giving them a mantra, or it's about getting them refocused on positivity, something like that. That's what a coach's role is. I can't sit here and VOD review in 1 minute, right? What we need to do is we set up time afterwards where we all sit down as a team and then go over certain things. I'm like, I saw this. What was your thought process here, right? In a non-judgmental tone. And I'll say, okay, I like your mindset. How do you feel about this plan, this plan, this plan? Which ones do you think resonate most with you guys? These are the thoughts I had, right? So it's a different environment, which is why I really enjoy coaching individuals in this kind of environment, because it's more of an open discussion. And the other one is kind of like, I'm trying to be a diplomat.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm definitely.
I just want to like peek B, but don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll smoke cross again.
It's like KJ there. It's gonna be there.
That sounds like A.
Yeah, he's walking down A. Has a lot of A control. Alright, we already
Watch. See this? See this? See all of this? This is the oh shit.
Yeah.
They could swing on you right now.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're at. And your Phoenix here on the other team just popped ult, so there's no risk of him just swinging you here. And you have utility out.
Yeah, I
Right?
think I was on autopilot, getting ready to throw the eye. So
Yeah. This is the equivalent. I've said this before, so I'm going to use a Family Guy quote again. This is the equivalent of you going to Vietnam, and you're hiding in the bushes. You're fighting a war against the Vietnamese, and you're wearing a clown suit, right? And you're saying, well, they're never going to be looking for a clown, but you're standing out,
yeah.
You're playing naked in New York right now. You're running around. You have clothing stores everywhere, but you're deciding to just keep running naked through New York. Okay, again, if they can flank as well, why is your knife out? Because the timing here could have worked against you. Which, holy shit, you did it again, right?
Oh man.
How do they know?
I think it's something I mentioned in OD26's tweet yesterday. He's like, oh yeah, people recording their VODs and all this stuff. And I said, this is the one thing I don't understand is why aren't people constantly looking at their own VODs? This is like the #1 thing that pros do to improve their overall gameplay. When you watch this back and you realize how often you're pulling your knife out and how often you have utility out when you're facing a threat or a potential threat, it's pretty crazy and shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you can really identify that this is a big issue that's holding you back. Okay, so in this situation right now, we have bomb down, and the way to win this round, ideally, is to have that bomb explode, right? So there's a certain amount of time you need to knock off that clock, and every second that goes off that clock is a higher percentage chance of you winning, or a higher percentage chance of you winning. Okay, so what can you calm right now to prevent someone or prevent this team from moving onto the site here?
I could throw my dog. At least hopefully stun one of them.
Yep.
That's I don't know. I have 70 health, so I don't want to over peak here.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to hold the cross for Ray so no one goes behind her.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
But-
that's fine.
Yeah, I
You're
guess just throw
missing-
my dog.
You're missing a big piece of something that can really stall things out right now. Anyone in chat know? Can anyone in chat figure it out? What can you do?
Throw a shoulder.
You got it, Absval. You got it, Absval. Absval said raise alt. Right?
Yeah.
So what you can say is, because if you just say pop raise alt, he's going to say fuck you, because it's it's a ranked environment, right? So what you could say is raise pop alt, I'm dogging them. Here they are. Pop alt. And at the very least, if like the ideal situation is he pops alt and he stands there and he waits there for 7 seconds, then he throws it, right? So you're stalling another 7 seconds off this site take, and that's a huge win. But we're playing with Retro Sing here. Retro Sing probably has never watched my content before and has absolutely no idea how to use his raise alt properly, right? So in this situation, what we need to do is you say, I'm dogging them, raise, pop alt, free kill. He'll do it then, because that makes sense. Ooh, free kill. I like kill. Kill good, right?
I don't like to micromanage in games, because then I feel like, I don't know, in the Valorant community or when I play rank, people find that so annoying, and I think get tilted by like the first round.
Are you micromanaging, or are you giving him a free kill?
I mean, it's a free kill generally, but it's like some people just think it's like, oh, this guy's overbearing. We don't want this. But I agree, it's a free kill. If I said, oh, let me dog.
Okay,
here.
It's how you say it.
Yeah,
that's the key, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I say it, I'll be like, Raze, can you pop alt? I'm dogging for you. Can you pop alt? I'm dogging for you.
Yeah.
I'm not telling him to do it. I'm saying, here's an opportunity for you to get free stats. Do you want it or not? If he doesn't do it, he doesn't do it. Right? I'm not telling him, Raze, pop alt, fucker. Right?
Yeah. Different tone. Yeah.
Yeah. You change tones. Like, this is a big piece too, right? When you're communicating online, you know, people communicate instinctually through body language. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of communication, about 80% of communication is done through body language and through facial structure and expression. So 90% there of language is done through the body. Well, you're in an online environment where you can only get my voice. So you don't know what my intention is. You could be jumping to a conclusion that I'm being overly aggressive, or most people will immediately assume the worst because of predisposition of what it's like to play in the Valorant community, right? It's not the most friendliest place in the world. So
everything's backseating somehow. It's just like, I don't know.
Everything's negative. Yeah. Everything's negative. So you need to present yourself as the friendly communicator. You need to be open. You need to be smiling. You need to be in an upward inflection, because they cannot understand your intention, and you can't be upset with them if they get upset with you because of what you say. In fact, you should be apologizing because you're like, my tone was probably wrong there, right? So it's a really big key for anyone who is dealing in chat with any kind of like monotone that you might have. Speak with a smile, right, when you're doing it, and there's no way that they can take it the wrong way, right? Very rarely has someone given me the feedback that I'm backseating. Actually, I've never heard that, to me, right? I'm waiting for that one, but I'm always asking, I'm doing this, so you can do this, or can you do this so my dog is doing this, or whatever, right? Like, can you do this for me so I can do this, right? It's always directed to, it's on me, basically, right? And this goes wrong or whatever, right? So in the ideal situation, going back to the point, if he pops alt and holds it, if he's smart, he holds it, we burn another 7 or 8 seconds off this bomb, which is huge. They still have to kill both of us and then get on the bomb and have 7 seconds to defuse it. If you throw your dog and he pops alt, you might be able to get kill off this, and it's a 2v1 situation, right? Yeah, upward. So, yeah, you know, Vandal. You're taking a Phantom to a Vandal long range fight. Yeah, upward inflection severe, you're right. So the upward positive inflection, right? Like one of the things I'll say is, we talked about in the last VOD, you never want to direct your, I think it was this no, it was this VOD? No, it was the last one. When you're up numbers, significant numbers, and in a macro sense, let's say it's 3v2, and you have a numbers advantage. And I was telling the last student, what you want to do ideally is everyone goes towards a main, right? Because you keep the enemy in front of you. So what some students will fall victim to is micromanaging by telling people, go A main, go A main. No, that's not the way you say it. What you do is, it's a 3v2 situation. You guys like going A main, question mark? Right? You give them the option and you make them think of the idea. It's like, do you like going A main, question mark? I think it's a free win. And if you do it that way, it's asking them, they make the decision. You're not commanding. Does that make sense?
That's true, yeah.
Right? Because the worst situation that you can be in, or the worst decision you can make in a 3v2, is running through the middle and having them like raining hell on you from multiple different angles. That's way harder than keeping everyone in front of you by pathing like this. Right? They can only be in front of you. And it's easier to trade at that point. Okay.
Sage, Viper were both looking at the fucking alley door.
Dude, I've been
looking towards side.
I hate these fucking fights.
Yeah, I saw that map. I was like,
Who's your duo?
No one. I was just solo.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand. I was.
I thought someone was
like,
sorry.
I get frustrated during the game, so like I just talk to myself and be like, all right, let's rationalize what just happened.
Yeah, I can get nice if you just.
So I could reset mentally. Like it's just like a way to, I don't know, clear my mind.
Let me see what you said here.
Sage, Viper were both looking at the fucking alley door.
Dude, I've been
looking towards side.
I hate these fucking fights.
yeah, I saw that map. I was like,
I don't understand. I was literally.
Are you talking to them?
No,
Here?
I was just on to myself because on
playing like an
defense,
idiot.
I just got like Phoenix would just flash me for every time and I would never turn. So in my mind, I was like, if I just turned, maybe I win that fight. So it was just like the repetition of getting flash was just like getting to me. So I was like expressing.
What you need to ask yourself then is, I seem to be getting flashed a lot. I wonder if there's something I could do to prevent that from happening. Instead of, these fucking flashes, fuck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So instead of, and I'm not saying that you're angry here or anything like that, but instead of reacting in an emotion like this, you need to react with curiosity.
Yeah.
Right? Was I in the right spot? Right? Was that more of the factor? Should I have been with Rays maybe? Was there a positioning decision that I screwed up here? Right? Maybe I need to reflect and see why this was such an easy flash for them. Was I in a spot where I can escape from flash? Could I play anti-flash? No, you weren't. Right? If you were against this wall, then you could have dodged the flash and then peeked out into it. Right?
Yeah.
So.
yeah, I saw that map. I was like B, I guess.
Where is even the orb here? I don't know.
It's in the middle.
Would you not want to review a 5-stack VOD worthy since it's quite different to solo queue? No, I prefer reviewing 5 stacks. That's way better than this random shit. It's way better. It's so much more fun because you literally do have control over every element in a 5-stack. So you can actually discuss like macro concepts and understand why certain things don't work. Team VODs are so much more fun. They really are. I really do. That's weird. You just hit the edge of something. But you still could throw this from a better spot. I love what you just did there. Did you guys see that? That was beautiful. This was not planned. But this is the kind of shit you'll see in team play.
Molly.
Yeah, you just tether mollied, which is awesome. This is a combo. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's sick.
Oh yeah, we got someone. Oh wow.
That's sick. You didn't realize it?
No, it was just
At the time you didn't realize it?
I didn't think we got the kill. I thought it was, I don't know, maybe. I just didn't realize it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you did it. Okay, so if you're gonna throw this eye, where do you think would be the best spot to throw it from?
Maybe you get closer towards that corner.
There.
No, because oh, there. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, that way you can get behind the cover as soon as you throw it, so you can throw it and then you can get right back in behind cover. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right.
This one just lands on the roof, so it's like I saw it on TikTok, so like why not try it for this game? I think I only land like 25% of the game.
So it's cool that you're following TikTok and and you're getting all these lineups and stuff, and you're seeing where it's landing. But if it's clearly out in the open, then there's probably a better spot you can throw it from. You need to find that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of bogus shit on TikTok. Like, for example,
Oh yeah.
I'll give you an example. In my industry, right, I see a bunch of bullshit TikTok and Instagram videos about how people should be exercising to get something to work for them.
Okay.
Right? And oh yeah, here's that point I was gonna make too. People can just smoke through and avoid a lot of these things, right? Anyways, I see a lot of bullshit about that stuff, right? And it's funny for me because I'm just like, okay, sure, you could do that, but there's much better ways of doing it, right? How much is costing? How much does coaching cost? You can find out by adding me on Discord. You can just join the Discord community. Why isn't that popping up? Fuck, socials. Socials. There we go. Perfect. Go into the Discord community and then you can direct message me. It's $50 US per session, but at least have a chat with me and then we can discuss setting something up. And join the Discord because we do 10 mans and we're going to do that after this. So once again, this fight that you take here. Look at your positioning.
There's no escape route.
Yeah.
I'm committing, and I'm pretty sure I crouch as well, so I definitely committed.
Well, you have to. You have to crouch at this point because there's no escape, so you're done for. Is this a 1v1?
It is 100%. No
So
one's even close to trading me out. Maybe the brim at the end, but
yeah, at the end. But you didn't know that when you peeked.
Yeah.
Because you definitely did not check. There's no cover, there's no escape route, you're now fully committed, and you forced a 1v1. How did they get back into the round?
those 1v1s.
Yeah.
Because then Brim's on a 1v1, raises all the way sewers, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And this is how dreams are made. Right?
Those nice TikTok clips.
Yeah, this is how TikTok clips are made. This is how they're born. When a mommy thrower and a daddy thrower love each other very much, they decide to 1v1 and die. And that's how TikTok clips are made. I'm gonna give a laugh for that.
Great song.
Give them a nice early Christmas present. The delayed laugh from the audience just makes it even funnier. Oh, my eyebrow dance. I'm so sorry about that. And Valorant, I didn't see that. Didn't fully grasp it. Okay. In this round, let's ask you a question. Who do you directly counter with your ult?
Viper. Oh, I didn't know Shadow. Yeah, Viper.
Yeah, you need to be paying attention to that at the beginning of the round. So you used your ult, I think, and now it's gone. Yeah, you just used your ult. So you need to be remembering that. The one saving grace you have, once again, you have these two characters that can counter as well. So
Yeah.
this is something that you need to remember. Use it sparingly when the Viper's there, because you want to be deterring her from using it.
I'm gonna leave.
Oh,
So glad I can make you happy there, Aunt Valorant.
I was gonna grab that.
They're all three
That
there.
gun's not.
I mean, they're
That's fine.
saving, but they're probably gonna get guns now.
We beat them on
Now they
Earth Day.
forced. Move them out of bundle.
I'm gonna try to play in the open. They're probably knife out as well.
I think what we'll do is we'll watch this round and then one more, and then we'll call her, unless there's something that you had a question about for the following
I'm already weak.
rounds.
30 seconds left. Find you.
I do not.
Okay. Just because it's now midnight in half hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 12:30 at night.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Okay.
What are you feeling?
So this round here,
I mean, I can really only all A. I can't
this Viper crushed it. This Viper played so well. So I'm just gonna get. I'm gonna give this a little highlight.
I think I called a strat where we use the KJ ult here to push the Viper out, and then KJ runs all the way to Art and like late lurk. But I guess I called her lurk too late, or I told her to like lurk. But I don't know. Maybe if she sped it up, maybe won the round. But
Well, no, she needs to go slow when she's lurking. She takes her time. She has to go slow. It's got to be. It's all about timing, right? What she does so well here, she drops her ult on you, like beautiful. Yeah, like that was really good on her. So I'd have to give her a little bit of credit.
By herself, it was.
Yeah, that's some high level shit right there. To be able to realize that ult is not going to be usable for her, it's going to be usable more for you now, right? Because of that KJ ult. So that was some high level shit there.
What do you think I could have come for this? Because they gave me the chance to like call a play, so I tried calling that. Once we see the Viper ult, what do you think we should have done? Just like either re-hit it, maybe.
You go to another spot, go to another site, because she has to commit that ult there.
Control mid maybe, and if we start hitting rotates, we could try to re-hit her, because she'll probably be alone. They'll probably let her anchor. I mean, maybe, probably not, but like that's what I would assume.
There's any number of things that can work, right? There's no like definitive answer, but what we do know is that when Viper ults, right, and you guys are making as much noise as you are on the site, what do you think it's doing to the entire team?
Probably fully rotating, or at least one anchor.
Yeah, they're starting to rotate, so they're moving around. So you can either full commit and go back here, and by the time you get to the spot, 1, maybe 2 start getting into position, but they're not quite there, and you can catch them on that.
Yeah.
Or you start playing around with the fact that they're rotating, moving around the map, and you start working like 2 or 3 up Art to get 1 pick and then back off and then go back towards B.
Okay.
Right? So this is where you want to start like picking off their positioning. Because
never go hit a Viper ult, right? Just avoid it at all costs.
You don't have to right away. You don't have to. You don't necessarily need to commit to it. Right? So if this is happening and they're attacking and you throw the KJ ult down, everyone's moving, right? Part of what ends up winning you more rounds on offense is eliminating the advantage of them having position. If they're in motion, they cannot position themselves accurately for a fight. So if you can catch them within rotation, so let's say that you all barrel roll back through here and you make that sound and you walk up here, what are they going to do? They're going to start rotating back, right? You catch them in that rotation. Now it's an easier fight for you, right? Okay. Now you fall back. Now you make that commitment going towards B. Now you have numbers advantage, right? So if they're in motion, you catch them in motion, and that's when they make the most mistakes, right? If they're over rotating. Okay, so there's no definitive answer on what was the right move. It's just a matter of you making a on the call decision and then playing it out, and then afterwards you sort of review it with your team. You're like, yeah, that didn't work. Let's see what we can do. What's our protocol next time for something like that happening, right? Yeah. Which is kind of what I was doing with the Dust 2 example, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So what were your top takeaways from today?
For sure, it was the utility being outdoors times, like being out in the open, throwing utility. I feel like I died way too many times with that. And the angles I would take, they're like, I'm committing to a fight instead of having an escape route in case I whiff or I got swung by 2.
Yeah.
And I forget what you said. I think it's like reset up after every fight. So maybe I'll start practicing resetting after every gunfight I do. But yeah, those are my top 3 at least.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good little piece for you. And if you start working on just that reset, that mental reset, things will work a lot better for you in terms of winning more gunfights and just planning it out. Because like we're all kind of in our mindset that we need to be that guy all the time, but you don't have to be. You can pick and choose your fights on defense, and it's all about the timer, right? Make all of your plays based around the timer, and you'll never make a bad decision, right?
Okay.
Cool. What we're going to do now, guys, is I'm going to set up a raid. And we're going to be raiding Trippy. So my good friend Trippy, he's the former coach of FaZe Clan. He's currently streaming right now. He's been doing it for a little while. He's got about 9 viewers. So I like to send over the love to him. And you guys can shower him with some follows, subs, bits, whatever you like. Give him a little bit of a hi. And after we're done with the raid, we're going to do some 10-mans in Discord. So if you haven't already, guys, do join the Discord. Discord is listed in socials. I will be in there, so you guys have questions, you can just reach out and talk to me there. We can have a little chat, and then we'll set you up with 10-mans and get you guys going with that. And then I got a content create tonight, so I cannot play, but this week coming up, I am off work, so I will be more open to playing with you guys and even coaching you in these 10-mans. So if you haven't already, please do join the 10-mans and join the Discord. It's a ton of fun, a great opportunity for everyone to learn. So thank you again, everybody, for coming out. All the subs, all the bits, all the donations, all the follows, and just having you guys here, you know, makes this so much fun and keeps me going. So I appreciate all of you guys for what you do and coming out and supporting. So thank you so much. We will be streaming again next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Have a safe and happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone in the chat. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Man, you are making way too much noise.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.